Today I'll be talking about the different aspects of a syndication. My previous video, I said a syndication can be divided into, we have the GP group and the limited group. So the GP group, I'm going to reiterate so that we can understand it from that point to where I'm going to today. So the GP group are the operators, the major general partners, the ones that operate the deal and manage the deal day-to-day basis with their property manager, always on top of it. Whereas the limited partners have limited liabilities and they do not manage day-to-day operations of the deal. They just, most times, they provide funds and sit down, relax and enjoy. I'm going to talk about the different ways and the GP aspect is divided. There are three major roles in the GP aspect. We have the acquisition aspect, we have the capital raising aspect, and we have the asset management aspect. So I'm going to start with the acquisition aspect and break it down to what that really entails. The acquisition aspect is just generally the entire acquisition process, from finding the deal, sourcing the deal, getting the lender, getting funds from the lender, contract agreement and all that, getting the team members, everything that has to do with acquisition, buying the deal, sourcing the deal, underwriting the deal, studying the market, the trends of the market, ensuring that the property is the right one for your investors and all that. Everything falls down into the acquisition part. And that part really, you engage professionals in almost the entire process. For the legal part, you have to engage a transactional attorney and also the SEC. Because you are collecting funds from investors, it goes through the SEC process and all that. So you need an SEC attorney to help you throughout the entire process. You also need a lender for the loan aspect of it. You need an insurance broker for the insurance aspect of it. So it's a group of professionals in the acquisition aspect that you'll be working with to ensure that you bring the deal to the finish line. One major aspect that people don't really talk about is the lending aspect of the acquisition part. So for a GP member to be a guarantor on the acquisition part, there are some qualifications or there are some things you need to meet from the lender perspective for you to be a guarantor on a loan. So am I saying that as a GP you must have some particular network for you to be a guarantor on a loan? Yes, that's what I'm saying. And does it mean that if you don't have it, you can't invest as a general partner? No. So what are the requirements for a GP member to be a guarantor on a loan? First of all, there are two types of loan. We have the recourse loan and the non-recourse loan. So for those of you that do not understand what a recourse loan is, the recourse loan means that you are a personal guarantor. So if anything happens to the deal, the lender will hold you personally for that loan. So it's not just about the property at this point in time, it's about you and your assets. So they will come after you or your assets if anything goes wrong with the deal and all that. So that's a recourse loan. So a non-recourse loan is the one that you are not a personal guarantor in the sense that your properties or assets are not liable. But if anything goes wrong, the property is taken away from you. So that's a non-recourse loan. So these are things you need to know as a guarantor when going into a loan. For some of our deals, we have some of them as recourse and we have some of them as non-recourse. So it's deal specific, depends on the lender. So for a bank loan, most times bank loans are recourse loan. Then for agency loan like Fannie Mae and Freddie, those ones, most of them are non-recourse, although they have some that are recourse and all that. So it just depends on the deal or what exactly you want to do that will determine. But I prefer a non-recourse loan for most deals that I go into and all that. So what are some of the requirements that you need to have before you can be a guarantor on the loan during the acquisition process? And one of them is credit worthiness. We hear that you don't need credit in multifamily, it's just in single family. No, the guarantor, the key principal, whoever that person is on your team, must have a good credit, at least 700 and above. It's called credit worthiness. You must be credit worthy for you to be able to partake in that. Then the next thing that you have to do is to have a net worth of the loan amount. So for example, if you have a deal of $10 million and it's a 70% LTV. When I mean 70% LTV, I mean that the bank is going to give you 70% of $10 million. You are going to bring $3 million, which is 30% of the $10 million. So you must have a net worth that is equal or greater than the $7 million that the bank bank is going to give to you. So there's a conception out there that you need to have a net worth that is equal to the deal. No, it's a net worth of the loan amount. So let's get that right. There's a net worth of the loan amount. You need to have that for you to be a guarantor on the deal. As a guarantor, the next thing for you to do is to have liquidity. There's a misconception out there that you don't need money for multifamily. As a guarantor, you need to show at least 10% of the loan amount in your account. You need to see that type of amount in your account for you to be a guarantor. So if your intention is to be a guarantor on the deal, then you should have that kind of amount in your account. And the next one is experience. You should show some significant experience. So you can't just wake up one morning and say you want to be a guarantor. You have to have shown experience, because the lender wants to be sure that whoever they are giving the loan to has significant experience, especially for agency loan. Agency loan is a prerequisite. For a bank loan, that might not be a prerequisite, but you must have an experience, like an experienced property manager that shows that they know what they are doing. But for Fannie Mae loan, you must have a significant level of experience for you to have this kind of loan. The most important one is for you to show your SREO. SREO is schedule of real estate owned. You must show the template for it. It must show the property, the address, the loan amount, what's the equity on it, how much you've paid down, the rent coming in. It's not limited to all these things I said, but you must have an SREO and a PFS. PFS is personal financial statement. It entails your cash amount, how much liquidity do you have in your account, both personal, business, whatever. Then you also need to show the rentals own. If you collect rent from other properties, it will appear there. Your assets, the cars you own, the business that you own, your jewelry, your personal belongings, all those things falls into your personal financial statement. And if you are a co-signer with your wife or a partner, all those things will appear there and all that. So in the total of it, you can determine your liabilities and your net worth and all that. So these are very important requirements if you want to be a loan guarantor for your GP team. You must need to have that. If you are looking to invest in multifamily and you don't have the net worth, the best thing for you to do is to partner with someone that has that experience, the net worth, the liquidity, and can show credit worthiness and all that. Then you partner up with a person and you guys can form a GP team and carry the deal to the finish line. In summary, that is what the acquisition process entails. Then the next is the capital raising aspect. Capital raising aspect is the funding aspect. This is a very critical part of the syndication because it has a lot to do with the capital, the equity, the money you need to bring down, both for closing your down payment to the bank, the closing costs, your reserves, and also maybe your capex budget and all that. So this is a very crucial, important part of a syndication deal, capital raising. If you don't have the ability, you can also partner with someone that is good with people. And also, the syndication deal is not supposed to be tailored to just raising capital. Whoever is raising capital must have a significant role on the deals. For example, the person is raising capital and maybe also is boots on ground, or maybe the person is raising capital and helping out with the acquisition process and all that. So according to the SEC rule, you cannot just be on a deal just to raise funds, but it's part of it. You can decide that every member of your team should raise funds and every member of your team should get the deal, be active, have their roles and responsibilities. The bottom line here is that you don't just bring in someone just to raise funds. The person must also have some roles that they're also playing, a tangible role that they're playing on the team and all that. So that is for the capital raising. The last and most quiet or silent role that people don't really talk about is the asset management. Asset management is a very critical part because yes, you've gotten the deal, you've gotten the loan, you've gotten everything that you need on the deal, you've raised the money, you've closed it and everything. What next? The next thing is managing, operating the deal. So this is a very, very important aspect because if you've done every other aspect and this aspect is lacking, then the deal will fail. I'm going to do a video next week and break down the different roles in an asset management team. For a multifamily investment, there is actually something for everyone, but all you need to do is to identify the role that applies to you and you become a team member and all that. But you must also have the time to run the business. So investing in multifamily can be easy easy by doing it through syndication, because it helps you pool funds together, not just your own. You will not be placed with the liability of raising the entire funds. Imagine you having a deal of, let's say, 20 million, and you need to raise maybe 8 million as down payment. That will not be placed on you alone or your JV partners, joint venture partners, to raise. Through a syndication, you can raise that amount from them and close on your deal. I hope this presentation was very helpful to you. And multifamily is a very, very interesting part if you just know this little tiny bits of information I'm passing to you. So you can get started with multifamily today. But first of all, you need to get educated. That is why I'm taking out the time to put out a lot of content, a lot of education for people to understand more about multifamily, its benefits, the ups and downs, and everything that is required for you to start your multifamily journey. If you're looking for more content about multifamily or anything that has to do with multifamily and all that, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Blue Ocean Multifamily Group, and also to my Facebook group, which is Blue Ocean Multifamily Group. We are consistent and very intentional about our content on those platforms, and you can get educated. And guess what? It is absolutely free. You pay no dime for free education, and this will help you in your multifamily journey. Please have a wonderful day. Thank you.